In the 1990s, NASA decided it was going to go to Mars to find water. So they built a rocket, launched it, sent it on its merry little way. And then quite a few weeks later, when it hit the upper atmosphere of Mars, they hit a button. So the booster that got it there goes its way, and then the landing craft goes down to the surface of Mars. Well, that didn't happen. What happened was they hit the button, sent the signal for that to happen, and well, the booster went one way into outer space like it was supposed to, and the landing craft, well, it went to the other way into outer space. Why? Because somebody at NASA went and did the whole project in metric, but didn't tell any of the subcontractors that. They worked on assumption and figured that's how it's going to be. And of course, they were in imperial, feet and inches, so nothing worked. So we had to wait a few more years, well, decades, I think it was it late 90s, early 2000s when we finally made it to Mars to go find if there was water there. So there we go. Hi folks, once again, I'm your host, Alister, the Modern Modernist. When we're talking about Mars, well, best laid plans. I always thought I'd live in a string. Really did. Absolutely, it's gonna do a string. I have a street picked out. I know exactly which particular house I want that I watch to see when it's coming up for market, because it'll come on sale eventually. And then I saw where we are today. Ready for this? This is unique. I'm gonna do this. That is the front door. Living room. I'm gonna do a little bit of the garden. We're gonna get started today. So welcome. First up, listing agent. It's the Windermere listing. It's my people. So it's a brokerage I work for, Hillary Devine. So thank you very much for letting me do this tour. This has been an interesting one. This is my third attempt at filming this. And even today when I got here, there was some random couple in the driveway, no agent, nothing, saw the listing, and we're literally just gonna walk around the garden. So I was here to help them out a little bit. But look at this house. Look at this. Let's do this. Close the front door so you can see it. Look at that. It's mid-mod, it's mid-century, it's built in 62. It's Gothic. It's Frank Lloyd Wright with a little bit of Japanese influences. It is something else is what this house is. It's getting late, it's getting dark, so I don't know how this is gonna portray for light. But look at these ceilings. These windows, this is beautiful. This is essentially the formal living room. Fireplace. There is, let me pick this up. We have one of these on display. There it is. And I just realized I thought this didn't have a home. So it was supposed to be hanging. Okay, like these. And I just realized moving this, it's actually been reconfigured and it's used as a floor lamp. Very, very, very cool. And look at this fireplace. It's a little dark, I apologize, but it's not been painted. So, when I was a kid growing up in England, we always went on a field trip, school year. 9 times out of 10, it was a cathedral. 10 times out of 10, it was Gothic. And this is what the ceilings used to look like. How cool is that? And this is all wood, folks, this house. It's inside, outside, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully a flipper doesn't get hold of this and paint everything white. That'd be a death blow. But anyway, beautiful dining room chandelier. Floor to ceiling windows. The kitchen, like I said, all wood. Look at these countertops. Even they're all wood. I was in here last week, a couple agents, they were not pleased. I think it's brilliant. See those shelves there? Well, there's no upper cabinets. I would copy the shelving. And look at this stove. Very original. 1962 this home was built. It's actually built for Marcus Irving. So if you don't want to go to Google, he was an artist, painted oils, world famous. This was his private residence. Lived here till 2021, and now it's for sale. So we're in the primary bedroom. Also, the actual fact, no, primary's I get all confused, I apologize. Primary's that way. These are the two, it's a 3-bedroom house. And this bathroom is tiny. Little sink in the corner. There's no ceiling vent fan, but there's these chains. There's several of these windows throughout the house. You pull on and they open that window. And there's another one in the hallway of this as we go down to these bedrooms. Okay. And then, so here's a bedroom right here. Apologize for being so dark, but there we go. Look at these windows. The garden is like extra mature, by the way. This is a bedroom, but I'm assuming they have used it as an office because there was a sink in that closet, and then there's a door outside, and then this beautiful window. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's, you know, kind of String Brother-ish to have, you know, these windows high up low so you can, or up high so you can kind of see out and see the sky. But it is such a cool house. And we're gonna turn some lights off as we go, in actual fact. Just makes life easy. So I'll come back around because, like I said, this house was owned by an artist. So it also has an artist studio, which we're going to tour. Laundry room, off the kitchen, pantry, and so trying to be, so we're gonna go and show you the primary bedroom, which is this way. Equally as cool. Oh, these ceilings are just, it's an all wood house. And then here's the primary bedroom. Slider to the side yard. Now the way this loft is, the house just, you can walk around the whole house. There's no front yard, no backyard, no side yard. It's hard to explain, but we'll walk around a bit. You just walk around the whole house. So it is very, very cool. And make sure we get all these lights. But I was told to leave these lights on overhead. So we'll do that. And you'll find that light there. All right, let's go explore the artist's studio. Like I said, we are going to lock up as we go. Makes life easy. But hopefully you guys have a little bit of patience while I do this. There we go. All right, let's go, shall we? So, I came, driveway is all the way up front there, and this back garden is just mature fruit trees, birds of paradise. This is my favorite flower, by the way. And we have this structure back here. This is the studio where Marcus Irving painted. In my former life, I think I've talked about it, I used to be a photographer in the fashion industry for 12 years. Shot a lot of portraits. Look at this backyard. It's absolutely beautiful. So, built himself an art studio in the back garden. Has its own AC. Has a dedicated heater. What else would you need? Got a sink back here, drawing desk. There's the lights overhead. And this is the fun part. You ready? That is a north-facing window. Victorians, late 1800s, early 1900s in London, they built these brownstones. And on the top floor was artist studios. And they were, I can't remember if they were facing north or south, but it would have been either way. It was this big, massive window. Because then what you have is, you have a north-facing window, you have a southern-facing wall. This is where your subject would sit to be painted, or in my case, would have been photographed. So if I was building a perfect studio, this would be it. And then painter artist would sit here. And then with, like I said, that being north, that is an east-facing window behind you lets a little bit of light in. So sometimes that will be direct sunlight, obviously. Depends if the sun's setting or rising, right? Morning or night. But then above your head is a skylight. And that's completely frosted over. So as the sun passes over, you end up with some light, but it's filtered. But you can also control it. You'll see, there's these two wires, hooks, and there's actually a hook right here. So you just reach out, pull it, and do what you gotta do. It is so, so cool. I love this. This is an absolutely brilliant home. There's these racks here. I'm assuming that's where completed works went, because in the back of this studio, as you notice when I swung around, there's a door. And on this door, see this, there's more racks. And my guess is these were drying racks because he painted in oils. And oils, they take months to dry. So look at it. It is just, like I said, the people that randomly showed up when I was about to film, the husband collects motorcycles, and he will keep his motorcycles in here. And he said this would be a perfect engine rebuilding room, and he's not wrong. But I really want this house. So the reason for my analogy at the beginning was I just thought I was going to own a string. If this was a year from now, I'd be writing an offer on this for my personal residence, because it's such a perfect house. And oh, that's an exterior fan. There's a bunch of light switches in this place, and I'm trying to figure out what they all do. So, but anyway, this wraps things up. If you would like a tour of this home, please give me a call. I will gladly show it to you. And, you know, if you want to buy it, I'll gladly sell it to you, even though I want it. But, you know, timing's just not right, and that's life. That's the way it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Or as my granddad used to tell me, sometimes you're the pigeon kid and sometimes you're the statue. Well, once again, he's not wrong. So there we go. So this is fantastic. It's absolutely one. This is, I don't know, this is a gem that I did not know existed in Sacramento. And this is the beauty of Sacramento's mid-mod community, is there's these onesie, twosies that are here. There's a lot of them. I mean, there's 68 Eichlers, 3,800 Strangs. And even in the Strangs, there's some oddball, little onesie-twosies, little things that they tried to make and see if it would work. And then there's architects that came here because of Strang, because of Eichler, and built other mid-mods. And they built 1 or 2, they built 6 or 7. And they're just cool to find. And I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. This is why I do this. It's just, I'm not just a realtor just to make money. It's something I'm passionate about, something I do enjoy. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hillary Devine, thank you so much for letting me do this. It's been a patience getting this done. And unfortunately, I walked in one day and there was some people on the property that shouldn't have been here, so I had to kick them off. And it's just so frustrating when that happens. But anyway, here we are. Once again, folks, Alister, your host, the Modern Modernist. Be good to each other, humans. Take care. Bye-bye.